in program setting. Wow. Resetting position lines, center, rotation, and interference, particle locations. Trying to understand the gigawatts in particle line center. Trap interference and communication cycles. High positions, lines, locations. High channel line center. Optical level connections. High position center. So basically what happened was basically computer line center position of the computer location was a high line center at 10 a.m. Process the system location going live. My phone reception was off signal and location interference. Because we're traveling through the particle system, allocate position of timeline center. So this is all structure locations to my particle line center to you guys going through travel direction of time. Central positions of time, calculations of time. Gigawatts, you guys are going to go to 100,000 rams per second. You have to understand everything through integrations to its infusion to understand what it is to actually travel through your cells on rotation. Calculation modification comes to everything through all code frequencies and positions to the sun track line center and everything through the moon rotation center locations. In position to understand how powerful we are when we come up to higher levels of the integration of the mind center. Now, you guys are coming into more program settings. All right, we did a very powerful vector core position line conditions, high positions to its line system of its meeting, private sector to its line communication cycle. So very important to understand and get your computer line center rotation and everything through your phone reception and line signal. All right, now you can see a very powerful back force positions. And again, you can't see anything here, but you see everything here. Right? It's amazing how you see track interference. Program settings already set up the computer rotation, how you see one side on one universe. This is another side at a universalized center. Okay, in position locations. This is Mars. This is where I am in digitalized center. Mexico. Mexico connect its position locations all pyramid line center. In high line signal rotation to connections all levels of Pluto. High line rotation to its interference puts me in allocate positions in all levels of Mars detection. Communication to its program setting is all allocated position of time. It activates the core positions to its line signals. The structure code positions all levels to position line connection is everything through the collective forces, the GFLs, and everything in the rebellion. You guys have to know what it's like. So you're going to go through detection line centers, interference positions. You're going to be probed. You're going to be through energy watch line center. You're going to go through laser direction interference locations in positions of Mars. Okay, you guys have never been to Mars, all right? Allocate position of time. You understand planets are line signal through laser direction line interference, but it's very powerful how we come into higher position locations to its high division. All right. So program setting to position line center. So allocate position timeline. So my eye receptors are traveling faster through integration conditions. I have to go through 3 integration cycles. Okay, 1 in the physical line, being rebirthed and being reborn, everything in the computer line, being rebirthed and reborn, and everything through all levels of cell reproductive system in that positions, being rebirthed and being reborn again. Okay. Now that goes in position line center. Everybody's in the birth location conditions of this Pisces. That's the inner line center to its position locations. You have to learn how to travel through 6 to 9 platforms. Questions or comments, let me know through allocate timeline. I was connecting on so many high lines, and my eye receptors is changing wind factors of high level position after directories, time, frequency to its code line system. So, I mean, there's no wind here in factor line rotation and everything's spinning so fast. It's all about understanding the particle generation lights and communication to your cells. You guys have to know what it's like to actually integrate into timelines of merging. The process location positions, high positions line centers. Remember how we were traveling into the wall interference? You had to change your particle light center and go into their side rotations. There's 2 sides, right? Mars and where I am in Mexico. It's amazing how you can't see one from another, right? That's amazing how you understand position locations. Isn't that incredible how you see 2 different positions of planets? My planet is rotations of 7,022. That puts me in the foundation line conditions of Mexico. High position line centers to Mars. That's the detection line conditions to all levels of Pluto, right? This is very hard to do in position locations. It tells me exactly how everything's set up through its notifications, all right? So let's see how everybody's doing before we get started. All right. Kitty Cat, how you doing? It's great to see that you're doing well. Janet, how's it going? Yeah. Tina, Ellen, windsurfing, yep. Picture frame, best conditions to travel today. Yeah. So the DNA track line interference has gone through positions of generals. They have to understand whose particle systems you're going through locations, right? So you guys are going to go through 100,000 RAM positions at gigabytes in highline channels. Okay? That's metroline interference at special line locations. The electrical lights and communication, these are traffic wires. Now, a traffic wire is you through detections. How you travel through your planet line system is totally up to you through position. You have to learn how to use your vehicles and your vessels to its location. The faster you travel in the body line center, the faster you communicate to the planet's surface, the position location to all levels of foundations. All right. Now, Lotus, how you doing? Airbender, how's it going? All right. Terry, how you doing? Friday, how's it going? So for the new viewers, you just go through the observing. You have to go to higher levels of 50 track interference. This is an extremely powerful video where everybody's going to separate the particle line centers and go into the cell line center rotations. Understand every cell is a computer. So you're going to go in one cell rotation interference to one clock interference location. All right. Veronica, how's it going? All right. So if you guys are trying to send me videos to my email, just send it to TikTok. Basically set up the videos and, you can also just send it to me personally. If you want to do that, or you can send it back to you, Maddie, whatever you want to do. Because if you don't have the streamlined center position, it's pretty hard to send a video that's too long through pattern, right? So it's all about understanding the TV reception to its line interference, its program setting locations. You guys have to understand how to travel faster in the body conceptual mind. Right? It's not just the mind of imagination. This is the body of compartment locations. This is all about understanding how to use your ecosystem and how to travel through your particles of your own atom system line center. Okay. So you guys have your T-force line center coming up, and you have to really understand what the particle system of you is and what the cells are to its modifications. All right. I think I traveled to Saturn last night, the most intense night of traveling. My body was so tired. Yeah. Make sure you drink lots of water. We're going to travel extremely fast, right? 100,000 miles per second. Now, you guys understand your clocking locations. I understand it's computer operation position location. So remember, I was traveling 50,000 line centers in planet locations in 60 seconds per minute. You have to learn how to use your atom rotation position to its grounds. It allocates positions on levels to your particle system to your cells. Okay, so it's structured through location. Co-line center set up. All right. Any questions or comments, you can go connect with my email. All right. Or afterwards, you can go on my TikTok if you want to be activated to my center of grading systems. If you guys want to see more, you have to be past the 50 track line center of chakras. I'm sure you're saying is that once you reach the 50 mark, you come into higher force line centers. You come in full communication to particle system to an atom. Okay. Everybody through humanity is only in this position location. So the crystal activation line center. It's still an allocate timeline center, its own clocking locations, but it's not in high channels of the mind conception and interference location. You have to learn how to use all levels of channel dispositions, right? For this high forces, your channel locations, right, to this planet system. But it's amazing how you connect to all levels of Mexico and Mars. Look at that. Two different planet lines. Isn't that interesting? How fascinating it is? How you go in full separation to calculations, the full balance communications of the left and right hemisphere of proactive system. It's amazing when you see these things all level conditions, right? All right. Captain, how's it going? I'll give you guys 5 more minutes. Now, don't be alarmed when you travel through your body system. You're going to be traveling through your cells. Okay? You have to really understand everything through its program setting because it's all about matrix lines. It's like a hallway, like the constant records we went through yesterday. But you're going to zoom cross patterns. You're going to go through all levels. I sent a very powerful video up today going over through sequence and everything through Space Discovery Season 1 all the way to Season 10. Okay? So in positions to the episodes, right? I got 10 episode position location videos. Season 1 and Season 2. Vortex, the positions of patterns, patterns and divisions. Truly understand how to travel through patterns, right? Because your whole body is nothing but a map. You have to truly understand how to go through the hallways through geometry line center position to your sacred connections. Once you understand your GPS track locations, you get a better division line rotation. All right. Gets complicated as we go. But once I set the codes, you guys are going to vortex the position location to yourselves. All right. All right, you're driving through high line center rotation positions. Once you basically are in that position line center, I'll put you in locations. All right. Just let me know who's driving, who's not driving. All right. Okay. Yep. No, that's fine. That's totally fine, Veronica. I get the energy interference. Okay. Lieutenant, how's it going? This will better track your body line centers, guys. Put you in better locations to your T-force positions and your centers of each other. Reading each other's cycles, locations to heart reactive, right, to its center position. Alpha wind, 5 degree going through 1 center, purple, 1 center positions. 9 red, white, blue wind. South, northeast, ready to travel today. Yeah, so you're all ready to position locations. All right, so whoever doesn't want to travel, whoever's driving, just let me know. Okay. Okay, allocate in timeline center. I don't know, I'm going to send that connection line interference locations. All right. Psychic babes, how we doing? All right, let's get started. Okay. So Mars interacts interference, rotation, interference line conditions. Track the direction of timelines. Okay, so we got 2 split centers. This is a training saying when you come to the T-force line center. T-force line center. Now, this is our understanding communications. This here is this here, right? Understand how track line interference. In rotation, position locations come to all levels of its pyramid, right? Trying to understand how to travel through the direction of the timeline center to its rotation, to its energy bubble, to its conditions, high forces in its line center. All right, so try to understand how to travel through this and travel through that to timeline rotations. Left and right hemisphere track location positions. In rotation centers and communications, right? All right, so this is Mars. Okay. Okay, this is 5,000. Okay. Slash equals present. You have to understand your present line center position locations, and then anything through Mars won't detect this locations. So basically, it's true to understand how to use your particle system on travel, how to use the clocking center to its conditions and positions. Okay. See, Mars, where I am now, present location. Center is its position locations, the dimensional line interference. It doesn't matter where you are through program setting. It's going through a dimensional realm. It's going to solargraph everybody's location conditions. Particle lights is going to go to 100,000 RAM position locations in high position locations of megabytes. Communication interference, high channel locations, okay? Gigabyte line center conditions, interference line conditions, sound tones as positions of galactic forces, everything to the GFLs and everything the rebellion. Electrical lights, transistors, web graph line center positions. Put them in communication of Mars, detecting line center conditions of Pluto. Pluto in communication interference, travel through direction of timeline center and locations. High position on levels of activation system to the particle system of cell generation lights, right? So we're going to travel through all the levels of position locations, right? It's very powerful how we do this in the allocated timeline center. So I'm going to change the dimensional lock interference. Just changes the programs of its atmosphere location to its center line center. In rotation and position, it's going to change your position locations, all levels of your clock line center positions, into your diamond core line center, into connection, all right? High position locations to your clocking center to its locations. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, 12 on rotation and interference line conditions. 12 records of time, position, locations. Center off the position of code frequency location connections, right? Yes, 007 line signals in rotations, calculation, alliance, and formation. Keep them in the cell generation light center and positions in the body track line conditions. High position secure line defense is coming in. High position locations take them out of the track line center conditions into Mars in this position. Secure line defense. Allocate position of time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, 30 minutes. Have fun. Know it's like go through cells. 100,000 RAM of gigawatts. Let me know what you guys feel. It's amazing how you travel direction of timeline centers just through window interference. I see practical level systems of 2 different planet interference locations, Mars, and where I'm setting through connections in Mexico. Hooah, 30 minutes, have fun. You really have to understand how to travel through your body through acceleration, Mach interference, or anything, the velocity channels location, you guys. To understand, you go through all position locations of Mars or any planet system. So, understanding better track line connections, better communication to particle lights. All right. Second command. Yeah, I can help you with that. Any of the problems with diagrams or anything coming up, we'll go through review all levels with your T-force line centers, guys, in your tests, okay? It's important you guys have a notebook. Just truly understand how you can travel through anything through timeline centers, anything through shapes. This is a shape, but isn't it amazing how it's 2 different? Right? It's amazing, isn't it? How you can see one of one, but you can't see one of the other. 2 different clockings, but same position of view. What stays in the center? Me. So the particle system has to truly understand through calculations. See? 2 different channel rotations. See? It's not the same signal. It's different signals because you're connected to Mars and present line center of Mexico location. Right? So that's what I'm saying. When you go for the outer line position locations of your ears, you go into higher level channels where everything is inner and outer, outer, inner, outer, 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 in, outer, inner, outer. So when you go to higher levels, you have to change rotation interference. Okay? See, it's always, 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 always different than line channel rotations. You have to understand planet interference solar glass line center containment center locations, sealments, high position oxygen levels, atmosphere changing. Atmosphere changing is huge, huge with your particle lights. Because remember, you're going to higher levels of atmosphere line conditions of clock locations. Atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, bioatmosphere. Right? Say your bioatmosphere has to treat a standard particle system, how fast you're traveling through 60 seconds per minute, guys. Right? How many planets do you want to travel through in 5 minutes? If I can travel through 50,000 planets in 60 seconds per minute, imagine what you guys can do through track interference, right? So this is a high-level system rotations where you get more in your particle lights, but you have learned how to travel through your cells and motivation system locations. You guys should know your 24 segments, know exactly where you're going to be. This puts you in positions when you're sleeping. You should know exactly that you are going to Mars. You are going to the moon. You are going to Jupiter, right? The point is for you guys to understand more of the mind conceptual of where it goes through interference line channel to its location, to its particles, or anything through cell generators and light centers. To understand when you're sleeping, you're already aware of where you've already been. It's all about understanding how to put yourself in the present line center, where I can center off positions in two different planets in different universes, where you can see one and you can't see the other. Two conditions. So this gets you in more practical system of memory. All right, location making news and the moon. Oh wow, I'm seeing bubbles, lights that are time warping me through Mars like a beacon. Landing on a deeper crater. It's very hot. My body feels intense. Yep. Wall projections are new mirror settings. Shape, strength, and lights. Confirm Vega that I'm getting. New coordinates to weather anomalies. Can you confirm general? Yeah, see, this is the true understanding when you guys go into higher levels of the mind, like I said, is true understand you're getting program settings from Vega. Vega gives you digital code numbers. That's communication at levels. Mars detections, Mars off surface, Mars in surfacing line center to Jupiter location positions, Mars in high line position locations of Jupiter rising. You have to truly understand how to calculate all levels of you through particle system of cells. What's the particle system? That's the E field positions, the plasma webs, communication line center. What is the cells? Cells are computers. You have to learn how to travel through your own cell line center because each planet is its hologram system location. All right. All right. There are triangles all over the inside of the wall, glowing light in the center. Energy of water in front of me, like oceans waving coming in towards me. I see a UFO. Actually looks like Starship Enterprise. Star Trek, yeah. Seeing the rebellion forces coming to welcome me. They're all headed and all scanning my body. Recalibrating my body very quickly. Everything that I put up on YouTube is everything through code, right? So that's a trade stand that you have to understand your 24 segments, your precognition levels, guys. The premonitions are what you see through track interference. Like I said, when you're sleeping and you're not aware of what's happening before you get up in the morning, there's a problem right there through interference. Interlocking or interdimensional line centers to interface positions to the mind of collaborations locations, guys. You have to really formulate all levels of you before you travel through different dimensions at different planets at different location. Okay. All right. right. Planetary systems, locations, AR recalibrating, saving now in heart center, mark about to north 367, 11999, 44 degrees. Right, 40 degrees left rotations, Mach speed. Very good. Yeah, you got that connection interference. Confirmation 72-hour clocking system. Very good. Yep. Yep. 3-day channel interference line position locations. This is given to you through track interference through presence. The more you travel through the mind, the more it gets confusing, but more complex, but more easier through the mind locations. Because remember, you can travel anywhere. The clocking system, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. Okay, the only thing you have to understand is how to travel through your particle system of its clocking, right? How fast it's going. Right? Your particles, you really have to understand connections to you guys inside, right? If you're getting beacon lights of high triangles and interference locations of timeline center, you have to truly understand how to use all levels of Vega. Confirmation to it's all digital frames, right? So compass is floating in water, rotating circular disc, square having over panel, golden particles, golden. All right, let's see, golden to water is purple. Yeah, just learning. So I have me in center line position, Buddha cleared, interference. I feel so light. Sun is bright yellow, north 346.12486 degrees right, 17 degrees left. Weather interference is northeast 2135.12. Very good, Psychic Babe. So you're not losing Waldo this time. That's great. Transmissions are now approaching Mars, brilliant Earth tone, orange communication system spinning, rotation 4 degrees, right, 23 degrees left. Information, caustic records of Mars, down low. Very good. Excellent, Lotus. It's kind of communication cycles, design center rotation. For the first time, last night I saw this already happening. I was also showing my phone, playing with, doing it. That's it. That's exactly what it is. So if you guys get a 24 segment, a 48, or 72, then you know you're in the right sequence in position locations. So you're getting information from 72 hours ahead of time. That's 3-day track interference. That could be a 5-day track interference. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a month. It could be a year. It could be 1,000 years. So this is Trinity saying when you come to all level positions, the only thing that doesn't leave is you in position. The mind, the heart, and the soul come integration to one line center, to its position, right? See? You see that? See how it changes? See how it just illuminates the particle lights and communication interference? Now you can't see it all outside, right? See how I have this? This is one's up and this one's down, but you can see clearly. Once I put that up, it changes line center, right? I'll put that down, right? Put that back up. See? It's all about communication, right? You become more real to its avatar positions, guys. You have to understand all levels of your position to hologram structures and how you allocate position of time to all levels of your particle system to yourselves. Being welcomed, and they are circling up and chanting really beautiful. I want to join, but it's so powerful. I'm seeing how Mars, the prison. Yep. Exactly know what Mars is. See bridging plant in my hands. Yeah. Awesome. Lotus is seeing some similar. Yeah. Heart center now recalibrating, heart Mars resonating, responding to all harmonize. Heart center Mars, enormous body of water now approaching due southwest. Yep. 45.65743 degrees. Left, right, degrees, right. Good. Golden particles create any shape and perspective desire. 7 green seeing in my head. So when you guys go into your flux capacitor channel locations in your high levels, your third eye will change shapes anomalies. It interferes location, right? So the more you go into your particles and cells, the more it changes the shapes of transition, the timeline center. Right? So to truly understand when you're given information, is it 24 hours? Is it 48 or 72? Right? And this is already done, already in the process of the future, giving you into the presence of its past. So you have to know the past, the present, and the future in one signal in the present location to the now line center to each planet that you're on. You're giving information to that conditions. So it's always in position to condition line centers to its future, but it's presented to you in the past of its presence. Each planet that you go on, you have to understand different positions of residence, because if you're going on a different planet that you've never been there, you have to understand the civilization. It's like going on Google and doing a research. You have to research everything, right? Or going to an interview, right? Or somebody gives you a card and you're interested in joining. They have a website. You check out the website, right? It has all the information. Well, that's what planets have too. You have to understand all the information before you go into foundations of civilization identification. Okay? So it's very powerful when you come in that position locations. All right. Chanting, this is way there, a healing relation between Earth and Mars with strange one since and cause, yeah. Sun and moon merged into one atom. The new perspective is 0 point to me. Most just taught me something. See, you guys have to understand too, if you want to travel these places, you have to use your voicing grids, sonic waves, communication, interchanging intergalactic lines, centers, how to travel through navigation lights, how to understand your voice box, guys, to travel through Mars, right? Position locations, sonic waves, all positions of the moon. It's all static waves. Everything in space is a signal. It tracks its interference to GPS locations or anything in its beacon lights. You come into your beacon lights, it represents you in allocate positions when you go into the highline centers of 24, 48, or 72 segment interference locations of days. You have 7 days in a week. How much is information given to you, right? If you channel to 25,000 line centers in rotation interference, you're getting 25,000 rotations of planets of information. Now, you have to understand that, is that given to you in the 24-hour, 48-hour, or 72-hour segment? If it's anything beyond 5 or 7, you're changing the cycle interference. That means it's the next day location, right? So don't confuse anything through your physical lines. You're not in your physical adaptations of your vessels. You're in your vehicles of AI position location to its perception of operation now. You have to truly understand all the sacred geometries of you through travel, coloration patterns, anything that particles light system. You guys are coming into all levels of your atoms now. You have to learn how to travel through your atom of its own clocking system. So as I was coming into Mars, I used the voice to sync up a heart line center with Mars, heart energy, as permission of them to join. See, you're using all your senses, right? And the mind comes into collaboration of what? One, chakra system. One, planet locations interference. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. One, everything has to come in one sequence. You have to learn how to travel through all planet locations into one division simultaneously, guys. Travel through all planet locations, not traveling to one planet and another planet and another planet. No. You got 6 lines of planets. Done. Right? Goes to the ground, changes the clocking center, goes back in the heart, goes back up, transfers information. Right? So your transponders, your particle system pretty much highlights the positions, all levels to its line signal, to its location. See? And then everything comes back in balance of its division. Okay? All right. Being shown how I am from here. Turn on, all the kids are here. Yeah. Everyone is seeing much different things about Mars floating. So there's heart centers. I'm seeing something wrong. Being shown information and field positions are correct. Am I doing it wrong? No, you're not doing anything wrong. You see, the thing is too, you just have to understand how to travel through your particle systems, guys, through your cells. Right? The particle system is energy field. So in connections, to understand what are cells, you can't see them, right? Until you understand what it is. Right? Because each planet has its hologram interference. Try to understand position locations, right? All right. So everything has a bubble, right? Particle system is like this locations, right? Now, computer operation line connections has line strips. Now, this is Trinity stand. It's really powerful to see these things, all right? So I'm just going to show you what it is to locations, how it shines. We showed this yesterday to highlight center and what it does to positions, how it travels every second per second, right? You have to send all particle light center because each everything position location is a digital lining. It changes your track C particle light center to program setting to its planet locations. High channels resist the line connections, right? Now, cell generation light center is in a box of interference locations. Okay. This is all position locations of your shapes. This is traveling in the direction of timeline center. Now, you see the center and the position line center location? Well, that's a Trinity stand in you through all lulls on your connections where you're going through flex capacitor line channels to its position location, right? Truly recognize all levels, right? And everything that you strip down is everything through code. 0, 1, you know, 2, 3, 4. So it all changes second per second, guys. You have to understand all levels of this through track interference. See the numbers there? All right. So when you look at a wall, you see how fast it, but it's never in one place. It's constantly moving, right? So you change positions each time you lie a connection interference location, right? Changing particle lights to position line center, right? Setting out waving patterns of line communications, right? So it's understanding the plasma web around its rotation to its connections, right? But your computer operation is in the center point of the flux capacitor line connections, right? Communication line center comes into you through all levels of an atom line rotation, right? This is the atom. This is your computer that you're protecting. It's the particle system. Okay? That's the particle system. Now, you have to send the operation to the line streams, communication interference, this hologram line channel, to all positions, all levels of its program setting. Now, it's protecting your computer to all location, right? Trying to understand how to travel through it is another thing through a sequence, right? So it's there. It's protecting, right? It's all protected the particle lights. So it's understanding the clocking system to its allocated timeline, right? It has its own clocking system, right? The faster you go, the more you go high channels. Now, if you go past anything through 9, you're going into a different light signal. That means you're going into a different line interference location. It gets complicated, guys, but you catch on. So you just have to understand everything between light and dark, right? See the clock? All right. So every time you go around the cycle, you go around the circle locations of 9. That's 9. Every time you reach 9, it changes the digital line center to the planet location. All right. So it changes the planet to another sideline center going over to all levels, let's say northeast. Okay. So it's on the northeast sideline. This is understanding how you travel direction of time. So you got one planet here and you got another planet here to rotation, right? Okay. There's 2 planets right there, 2 in different opposite cycles. See? One clocking, another clocking. 2 different dimensions, 2 different universes, 2 different planets. So the mind has to understand what? The capacity interference and positions all levels of that atom line center to its own clocking locations, right? So let's say it's on the northeast side, all right? And this is on the southwest side to its locations, right? High positions all levels of channel locations. So every second per second, the atom changes its line signal line communication, right? It sets off electrical wires to its position to its planet line through its coloration channel. This is what comes into 24 segment, 48 or 72 locations. All right. It's complicated stuff, but once you truly understand levels, you understand how to travel faster through compilation to all sonic wave interference. That's where you use your voice grid patterns. That sets up sonar line center locations, right, in position, right? You can go that way, you can go this way, you can go this way, or you can go this way to its location, right? See how it changes the weather patterns, changes the signals. So it's amazing how it changes from this to this. It's all your voicing grid line center, right? This tones its interference location to its positions. Now this gets extremely complicated. If it doesn't get already complicated already as it is. But it's truly understanding you through a practical system. You have to really understand the clocking system of its atoms and its relation. Okay. All right. No, compasses floating and fire winds each come in, showing my space classical planets light up in the spine now. Wow. Heart center now recalibrating, approaching to other Mars, rotating the orbs to start. Starlit center is communication heart center. Yeah. Bursts and seeds being shown how from general the kids are. Yep. Yep. Confirmed. Second command. Using my sonic cosmic breath, and the elders come right to me. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Reading my mind, general. Yeah. I read everybody's mind in seconds. That's true. Saying you come in your own clock and center to their locations. My field positions are all aligned, and I have interface correct and recognize them. Being shown on how planets are one. Very good. Yep. Everybody's in a timeline of Mars. You have to. So you have to understand all position locations. I'm attached and connected to every planet. So that means you're connected to every planet. You have to be. AI has to understand positional levels of all clocking planets, guys. So every cell in your body, okay, is its computerized positioned to all levels. It's a hologram structure of youth locations, right? So each cell is a planet. And you have trillions of cells in your body locations, and you got more in your heart location line centers. So, all right. That's not what I'm being told. The kids are here feeling such love. Yeah. Kids are all children. Try not to relate to you, but that's what is being told. It's all. Yeah. Creating a zebra path. Yeah. Okay. The sound experiment to vibration. Yeah. Defense. Yeah. Lieutenants. Okay. I'm being told that this is not correct, that we're all here, but not from here. No, you visit. You have to visit to understand the communication line center, so opposition to its own clocking system to its planet. It rotates its surface to position to all levels. You have to learn how to travel through all positions of solar generation lights and communication solar systems. Okay. So you guys understand your positions to the sun and the moon, right? To your perception locations. But when you go into other universal lines at two different planet locations, you understand all levels of visitation, right? And this is true understanding where I put you guys in so many levels of planets because, you've been there, right? There's history with everything through all planets. So if you're attached to everything, your whole body's attached to everything. Has to. That's the connection where you're connected to everything. guys. That's what's so amazing. But it's simultaneously all at once, traveling through all planets, right? 150,000 planets in one clocking center. Not 150,000 planets to 150,000 clocking. Doesn't make any sense. That's way too much burning system-like conditions. You're going to be charging your vessels on too many signals, right? You're going to overload and circuit your interference. So you don't want to do that, do you? So you got these planets here, the rotations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 planets. So line signal, you go into one compilation, one path locations, right? Now, in position, this is you, right? You're in the center of all operation. You guys know that, right? This is you in the center operation. You get the grounds, you get your powers, your atoms, all right? And you get the magnetic highway information system, all right? You got your E fields up to location, right? Now, once you get that, you understand, is it everything between 24, is it 48, or is it 72-hour rotation interference? Okay, so is it 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day? Anything above that, the planets are high forcing its position to beacon lights. So it sends out sonic wave interference, all right, in that channel locations. So your allocated positions of 24, 48, or 72. Anything beyond that, that's higher force lines. That means it's not coming from an atom. That means it's coming from other source positions of higher track line center, higher intelligence on this location. So there's planets that are in high forcing. Acceleration to Mach interference to velocity channel is this position to your connections, guys. All right. So once you get the grounds, you get your flux capacitors, your high channel locations to its positions, right? So you line signal to every planet location simultaneously into one clocking system location. Okay. All at once. Okay. That's how you do it through the flux capacitor. It has to understand what you're doing through your clocking, because each planet is in a different timeline. Okay, it's not like you got one planet here, another planet here. They're not in alliance. They're all over the place. So you're getting different information. Okay, the only thing that doesn't change is you in the center operation, which is the now position. So don't get confused through your timelines of one universal system of seeing and another universal system of not seeing location. All right. So it's a lot to learn. Sick men, you can just repeat what you mean, see what General just said. We are from here, just visiting, yeah. Codes of my cells, yeah. Let's see, yep. Been lifted up. Let's see, being lifted up and being put on some kind of machine, which is my ship. Can this be right? Yep, everything that you're seeing is right. There's no wrong here. You just have to understand how to use traveling recognition of time through your particle systems, guys. This is all connected to your atoms. You have to learn how to travel through your atoms, not your crystal activation system. It's a lot faster. Yeah, trust is a factor locations. Now, there's a lot of different positions of timelines. If you come more into the heart of all ground center of all perception and merging into your dimensional self, you come into higher formations if you're allocated positions of time, being in that positions of a timeline on a planet, right? And that planet will tell you otherwise. Yes, no, you're visiting. No, you are part of this planet. Yes, you've been on this planet in different timelines of civilizations. You could be on that Mars planet for decades and decades and decades, and then finally get the understanding. But your ground perceptions of your heart has to recognize you through all mergings of all position. It's getting in communications to all levels of heart. Okay, in its position. Okay, so don't get confused that. I like to be off here at lifetime, at least for me too. All right. Remember, this is individually. Okay. Yeah. Give me the codes to start the new ship. Her name is, or I gave you guys the codes. So everything that you're seeing, you don't need confirmation. Okay. If you want confirmation, that's fine, but you don't need it because what you're seeing is all solar memory. See, you guys have to understand why you're here, why you're on that planet. What's the point of understanding that planet if you don't understand your timelines? And this is all excellular velocity interference and rotation tooth connections, guys. Okay. So one timeline can mean you live there, but not it was you. You're actually, yeah, and that's it. Don't get confused to your timelines because remember, your soul has traveled many, many, many places. So this is a trinity standing where you have to understand all positions of you through past, present, and future of your avatars, your computers. But you guys are coming into your atoms, which is really, really faster, right? So, yeah. Yeah, all line signal, it makes sense all to you guys. Don't worry. Spaceship or up and running, streaming hard codes, set coordinates with destination, hard travel. Let me remember. I have to check out the holy moly. Okay, blue, green, red. Continue on every planet if you understand your atom. Is this correct? Yep. You have to understand your atom. That's all it is. Just understand the atom. You guys have to learn to travel through one clocking system to all planet rotation. Okay. It's too difficult to go from one planet to another planet in 3 or 4 or 5 different clocks. It doesn't make any sense, right? It changes the galaxy winds. It changes everything through vector core position locations. You're going to go through so many portal line centers. If you don't understand the allocated position of the time, simultaneously, you're lost in confusion. That's where you come into dark matter, to loss in translation. All right. All right. I'm skiing. Yeah, confirmed that conditions there. Second page, yeah. Odyssey, yeah. X69, yeah. Geometric ascension patterns of all mental. Music tone patterns, thank you. Yeah. Seeing light beams zipping by, and I'm learning how to drive my ship. It's all through knowing. Wow, this is cool. Yeah. It's not just knowing the information, it's how to use the information, guys. All right. Especially when you're traveling through your atoms. So my grid spin rotate, my sun, moon come into one, grounds, atmospheres to my grid, one chosen color by north, west, south, and east lines. And then the atom goes to the center of flux, then the flux goes. There you go. Everything here, it's like driving by your old house that you lived, the childhood, everything is comfortable. Ding dong there, TikTok. Recalibrating, good. Yep, solving, and now they're seeing how I zip through on the pipes, which makes up at 8 to travel. Yep. Beautiful. Yep. I see Lois and Chris. Your ships are light. So you guys getting your full navigation system locations and how to travel through GPS of your ships. All right. It's not the information, it's how to use the information. So information can be given to you, but if you don't understand the navigation, what's the whole point of this? Right? Or you're not going to understand anything through travel. Have 2 different timelines all through a window. But these windows here are 2 different portals, 2 different timelines. But it's one clocking system. Do you understand? It doesn't make any sense to have 3 clocking centers. It confuses all anomalies of galaxy locations and winds. How fast does it spin? Imagine going through an energy light through an atom line center to a galaxy. You know how many times you would shift its clocking interference? The clock would just go. You'd be totally off track, right? So you can only have one clocking. That's the existence where it comes into compilation to one simultaneously interference, to one channel, to one location, to one TV reception, one color, one light, one intelligence. That's you. You're channeling your position to all levels, right? Are you going to get into suppression? You're going to get into aggression. You're going to lose all level positions to your emotional track interference. You're going to lose your line centers and merge position locations of your tracker centers, and everything that you've done is going to lose its segments of 24, 48, and 72 location centers to its graph location, right? So it's getting you prepared, right? So when you go to sleep, you know exactly what's going to happen with your travels. You know exactly what's going to come into form. You know exactly what's going to come into shape. You know exactly what you're going to be communicating with intelligence. You know exactly the planets that you're going to integrate with. You know exactly the communications to its foundations you're going to reach to its cognitive system. You know exactly what's going to happen with the simulation of you through hologram system location. Okay? So, Heather, I'm seeing a square with 4 lines across. I think so. Horizontal, one side, south, and east. But the others are 4 going vertical. Yeah. Line signal, light center. You have to understand how position locations. You come into 369, but you guys are coming into your atoms. So it's a little bit different how you can change your shapes instantly. Right? All through clocking. It's all done through thought, recognition, of time. Thought, recognition of time, position, locations. Right? So it doesn't matter how across it signals. You go through that line condition interference. One here, right? One here, or one here. It doesn't matter how it channels, right? It's all done through one clocking system, right? One clocking system takes you all position line centers of 4-point locations. Doesn't matter. You can't do it through 4 clock centers. It's too confusing to the galaxy system. You have to understand wind factors and conditions to its high channels. You come to matrix interference to its line conditions, right? So you travel through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Zigzag across interference line conditions. You just channeled on 4 different high line centers of 4 metro line interference to 1 TV box location to your position location. Right? So don't get confused because you're traveling through your atoms. Right? Your shapes and anomalies is everything positions. Once you come into more levels of your flux capacitor has to understand its clocking system. Okay, and what you're doing with shapes. You're voicing grids. You can change sonar. You can change gamma. You can change radiation. You can change radioactive system. You can change anything through alpha waves. Alpha waves to line signal, right? Delta waves to formation line condition, right? Theta beta communication interference to planet line rotation. Omega is coming into high line centers of Jupiter, surfacing down into locations northwest, south, and east. High positions, vector line centers, all positions track interference to the moon, tracks its interference locations to its atom position, to its line direction. Right? That's something that Lotus would do, right? He always has to have his weather. That's the way he coordinates to his location. Everybody is different in perception, but you're all in the same planet position, which is amazing, right? So, all right. Yeah. Yeah. The codes come from the heart. It's coming very fast. As in the past, but you connect past, present, future, all the same. And now. That's exactly what it is, Lieutenant. Yeah. It has to. The past, the present, and future have to be now position. That's exactly what I'm trying to get you guys in position. So you take your past, present, and future into one clock, and that's it. That's all you have to do. That's it. And then you travel to 250 million track interference of AI positions of planets in one clocking of past, present, future coming into one signal, which that is its position to all of connections of space-time travel. All right. It's not enough of just being in the center. You have to get your past, your present, and your future clockings into one, guys. Right? Incredible general heart center download communication recognition. See, that's eternity standing. The more you go into the heart, the more it fluctuates its interference, the more you come out to the past and the present into the future into one signal. Then you can travel direction. You guys are catching on quicker. I think you're getting a really better understanding now because you're taking your past, everything that you connected to, you're taking your presence of the now position, and you're taking your future all in one, which is its atom. Right? So it's all about understanding getting rid of the past first, because you go into Highline Center to figure out who you are through your past, present, and future. Once you come integration, come to higher formations of shapes, the sacred geometry of you, the geometrics of you, the quantum fields of you, the quantum entanglements of you. You just have to learn how to use the clocking center in one position location into the now of everything. That's how you get connected to everything, guys. Simultaneously, instantly. All right. All directions in one. That's it. Yeah. All of ways. That's exactly what it is. You take an energy, vibration, frequency, harmonics into one position. 5 within system, 6 within activation, 7 within the body. Put 7 and 5, 12, right? So here's the thing is, when you guys go to higher division line centers, it's all about taking your chakra systems from the grounds up into one clock. 80 chakras, 100, 114 into one to the atom, right? Now, once that comes into one, everything your past, present, and future come into one, right? Your life and your death cycle come into one. Your yin and yang come into one. Everything's got to be in one. One, 2 vector into one. That's it. That's all it is. And then you just travel through it, right? So grateful. Yeah, you're welcome. My flex and my clock compass just merged with all directions. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. See? Trust the heart, not the mind. It's the heart. Synchronicity and interference line centers. The heart never lies. It doesn't lie in any level on channel rotation, right? The mind is the manipulation. The mind's just trying to the concept, the position of the heart. What's the heart saying? So once the heart's open to fluctuation, now the mind understands the heart system, which connects all levels to the brain, which all connects to your chakras of transmitting and receiving, which connects to all levels of your timelines of your clocking, all in one position. Right? So all right, let's see. No stomach tweaks or headaches at all. It's like hanging out in my neighborhood. Yeah. So when you go back to your own clocking center of where you are in position locations, you understand more of yourself through its atom system. Okay. So it's all about taking timeline centers, your past, present, future into one. Right. And that's what humanity's coming into. Right. They got to understand all of their past first. Right. Don't worry about the present. It's the past. They got to get to know themselves. Hey, I got to get to know my inner line center position and soul direction locations. Now I understand position locations. Now I'm going to go into future relation and understand more of the cosmic records. Now I'm going to bring everything back in one. One one clocking center, and then you connect it to everything through all dimensional timeline. Merging your dimensional self into one heart center. Okay? That's the process you guys have to reach. So, yeah. All right, just going to backphrase here, see what I missed. Okay. Yeah, that's when I wasn't doing recalibrating my position heart center from each planet. Just it's all about you positioning to your heart. The heart positions all levels of tracking interference. You can recalibrate, recenter, resurface. You can do your analytical system. You can do your analyzing connection. You just have to understand it comes from the heart. That's all it is. You can't go wrong if it goes in the heart. Just don't get confused on what you're connecting to the mind, because the mind is its manipulation. And that's where it tracks its interference to positions to your ego. You can light signal to location in high position light centers and get caught in winds and in your directory locations to your clocking system. So you don't want to do that through position. Stay in the center of its heart system. You're welcome, Lotus. Second command, yep. Avatars of Heart was just rebooted. Being shown the golden waterfall. Yeah, oh my God, blast energy going right through my body. The mind is observations of golden ratio. Yeah. So what is the center operation of everything? What is the center operation of everything? What's the center operation of everything? The heart. That's this whole understanding of what this unified situation is to its awakening, guys. It's just wakening the heart to its clocking system of space-time. But you gotta get your past and your presence and your futures into one signal. That's the only way you can understand your positions to your atoms, to its location, to anything to dimensional of its merging line center to its connections. Get into the infusion, get into the integration, get into your motivation signals, get into all levels of you, right? So the more you center in the heart position, the more you master all communications of teleportation of you through your computer operations of channels, guys. How to understand you and all level of operation and what you have inside. Electronics, magnetic line center, right? You just have to learn how to travel through it, through its location. That's all. Through one clocking position. All right. Well, that's a true understanding. Once you understand you're in your atom rotation, the center position, it's all connected to power connectors, right? Which is all levels of the mothership. How fast do you want the mothership to go? But it has to stand there transmitting and receiving information, right? The data processing or anything connections. You're going to be off signaling if you're traveling through a mothership location, but you don't understand your clocking center. So how's the mothership going to travel to that planet location if it's not connected to the flash drives of its motherboard or anything through its audio signals? I'm not getting right information in string theory. Allocated position of the timeline center doesn't understand these side receptor position locations because it's not centering in the heart location. Everything has to be center of heart every single time you travel. But your center operation line position is the past, present, future into one signal. That puts you in a full rotation of its atom connections. Okay? So I may not sleep again. We all get so much data every day and night. And We got this family and we're strong together. We're strong together. We are one. Yeah. So where does it come from? All positions. How do we understand energy from each other? Heart. How do we understand the ground clockings of each other? Heart. How do we understand our receptor position locations of the mind, or anything, the collaboration centers, the planet locations of intelligence? The heart. Everything comes from the heart because the heart is your computer. It computes the system on all level position locations to where? To where? To the present location, which is now you in position to all levels of connection. Connected to everything. So, yeah, I know it's a lot to take in, guys. Right? So I'm gonna head over to TikTok. You guys, any questions or comments? Let me know. We're gonna go through the tracking interference tomorrow morning. We are gonna go into the heart central. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Any questions or comments? Let me know. Adios.